To start today's episode, these are the 5 wonder tips for you to remember to keep your back, neck, and eyes healthy while indulging in some screen time. This is Teacher Melvin's healthy tips for everyone. Number 1. Sit properly so you are well supported. Your back should be touching the chair backrest. Number 2. Change your position regularly. If you are watching for long periods, take turns sitting on the couch, chair, or floor. Number 3. Keep dim lighting on in the room rather than no lighting. Strong or no lighting may lead to eye damage over time. Number 4. Stretch. Use commercial breaks to change positions, to get up and walk around, and to do gentle stretches. Number 5. Don't watch TV in bed, as this often leads to neck and backache. There, you are now ready to begin.
Katanungan sa ating isip ay may kasagutan para magtungkol sa agham ay makakamtan. Wonder Science ang ating kagapay. Agham o siyensya, kadugtong ng ating buhay.
Agham! Siyensya! Halina't mag-aral na siyensya ating alamin. Agham o siyensya, kadugtong ng buhay.
Hello, Wonder Warriors! It's me, Teacher Melvin, your companion to your Wonder Science adventures. Learn everything under the sun because here at DepEd TV, Grade 10 Science is fun. So buckle up and get ready to power your mind. This is Wonder Science. You have previously learned that the convection current in the Earth's mantle caused the crust to break into smaller segments. Spaces in between, or plate boundaries, are created. These plate boundaries are named according to the relative movement of the plates with each other. Do you still remember these 3 types of plate boundaries? Which type of plate boundary is demonstrated in this video clip? If your answer is divergent boundary, you are correct. I commend you for your quick thinking. When 2 tectonic plates move away from each other, magma or molten rock escapes or rises from the Earth's mantle to the surface or into the space between the spreading tectonic plates. What about this one? If you're thinking about convergent boundary, you are absolutely right. Remember, a convergent boundary happens when 2 plates are colliding. And finally, which type of plate boundary is demonstrated in this video clip? If your answer is transform plate boundary, you are doing great. Don't forget, a transform plate boundary occurs when 2 plates slide past each other. Well done, Wonder Warriors! I am impressed with your progress. In the previous episode, you have learned that the convergence of plates takes place between oceanic and continental plates, 2 oceanic plates and 2 continental plates. Before we begin, let's have a quick change. And for this episode, I have invited 2 Wonder Warriors to join us here in Wonder Science. Let's welcome Angel and Vince.
Hello, Wonder Warriors! I'm happy to join Teacher Melvin here in Wonder Science.
I'm thrilled to begin our Wonder Adventure today.
It's going to be a fun learning experience today. But before we start, you need a quick change. Now that we are all set, Wonder Warriors, let's begin! I have here 2 different materials placed on top of a flat surface. A food tray with half cup of water, and 2 pieces of 8 by 16 centimeter foam. To start, let's label the foam. Angel, kindly label this form as A, and Vince, label the other one as B. Angel, kindly soak half of the length of foam A into the water. Next, place it on a flat surface at least 2 centimeters away from foam B. Then, position the soaked part of foam A in the middle part of the setup. This time, kindly hold foam A and hold foam B. At a count of 3, slowly push 4 centimeters inward each outer ends of the foams until they overlap. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Observe what happens. On a piece of paper, draw the final setup and answer the following questions. Question 1. Which foam curves above the other? Question 2. How does the water in the wet foam affect its density? Question 3. If the foams were pieces of the Earth's crust, which one is the continental crust? Question 4. Which foam is the oceanic crust? And finally, in the activity, what made wet foam move under the dry foam? To help you answer these questions, let's replay the experiment. This experiment demonstrates the processes that occur along a convergent boundary between an oceanic and a continental plate.
I have observed that when we slowly pushed 4 centimeters inward each outer ends of the foams, foam B curves above foam A.
Good observation, Vince. Take note, the presence of water in foam A affects its density.
Density? Wait, I know what density is. Density is a measure of mass per volume.
You are correct, Angel. To recall, the average density of an object equals its total mass divided by its total volume.
Teacher Melvin, does it mean that in the experiment, one foam is denser than the other?
That's a very good question. Based on the experiment, we can say that one foam is denser than the other. So which do you think is denser, A or B?
It's foam A.
That's correct. The presence of water in foam A makes it denser than foam B. Good job! And now, let's answer the 5 questions. Question 1. Which foam curves above the other?
Based on the experiment, foam B curves above foam A.
How does the water in the wet foam affect its density?
Water increases the density of the foam due to the increased mass.
Question 3. If the foams were pieces of the Earth's crust, which one is the continental crust?
It's the dry foam or foam B.
That's correct. Angel, which foam is the oceanic crust?
It's the wet foam or foam A.
That's correct. Vince, question 5. In the activity, what made the wet foam move under the dry foam?
Due to its greater density.
That's correct. Vince, there! I'm impressed of your quick thinking. Wonder Warriors, don't forget to write down important concepts on a piece of paper. Remember, by taking down notes, you can easily recall the concept of the experiment. And now, let's proceed to another experiment using these materials. A food tray half filled with water, and 2 pieces of 8 by 16 inches foam. To start, let's label this foam as A and this one as B. Second, let's submerge the 2 foams into the food tray containing water. Third, arrange them at least 2 centimeters away from each other. Fourth, slowly push 4 centimeters inward each outer end of the foams. Then, observe what happens. On a separate piece of paper, draw the final setup. In the activity, what have you noticed?
I have noticed that one foam moves on the top of the other while they are converging.
Good observation. Angel, if in the process, the top foam suddenly flips up so that some water is pushed forwards and up, what do you see on the water surface? A wave or a ripple? Let's replay the experiment. If the foams were Earth's plates, what do they represent?
I think they represent the oceanic's crust.
You are correct, Vince. If the foams were Earth's plates, they are oceanic crust, where one subducts under the other.
Subducts? What does it mean?
This experiment demonstrates the processes that occur along a convergent boundary between two oceanic crusts. When two oceanic plates collide, a subduction zone is generated, which means the older plate is forced under the younger one, and it leads to the formation of island arcs.
Island arcs? Sounds cool.
Yes, Angel! Island arcs are chains of volcanic islands. Examples include the Mariana Islands in the Western Pacific Ocean and the Aleutian Islands off the coast of Alaska. Aside from the collision of two plates, what are your other observations?
Teacher Melvin, I have observed in the experiment that water is pushed forwards and up.
And created ripples or waves.
Very good observation. Since the collision and subduction of plates is not a smooth process, large, powerful earthquakes are another phenomenon that result from this type of interaction. Earthquakes generated in a subduction zone can also give rise to tsunamis.
I learned the previous episode that a tsunami is a huge ocean wave caused by a sudden shift on the ocean floor, such as an undersea earthquake.
Yeah, that's right. I also learned that if the wave reaches land, it can cause incredible destruction.
Good job, Wonder Warriors! I am extremely impressed of your progress. Because of that, I will give you this badge. And finally, let's have our third and final experiment using these materials. A small bowl half filled with water and two whole pieces of any crunchy cracker. To start, soak at least 1/3 of the part of the two crackers into the bowl containing water. Next, arrange them on a flat surface so that their soaked parts touch each other. Then, push the two crackers inward and observe what happens. On another piece of paper, draw what you see in the setup after step 3. Let's have a quick replay of the experiment. The third experiment demonstrates the processes that occur when two continental crusts converge. As shown in the experiment, the rock making up continental plates is generally lighter and less dense. It is too light to get pulled under the earth and turned into magma. Instead, a collision between two continental plates crunches and folds the rock at the boundary, lifting it up and leading to the formation of mountains and mountain ranges. Wonder Warriors, how are you so far? Don't forget to take note of the important details on a piece of paper. Remember, by taking notes, you can easily recall our discussion. Angel and Vince, can you share your learnings from the 3 experiments?
I'll go first. In the first experiment, as we push both outer ends inward, the dry foam curves upward while the wet foam stays down.
The foams represent an oceanic and a continental crust. They are converging.
Great! Remember, the continental crust curves upward on top of the oceanic crust due to its lesser density. The oceanic crust, due to its greater density, stays below. When an oceanic crust converges with a continental crust, a crack between the crust underwater called trench is formed.
Since the oceanic crust has greater mass due to the presence of water on it, so its density also is greater.
This causes it to dive down or subduct under the overriding plate, the continental plate.
When there is volcanic activity such as an eruption, the ground moves and so an earthquake is felt.
Because subduction continues, a group of volcanoes called volcanic arc is formed.
It is the foam at the surface of the continental crust along the boundary where the two crusts converge.
And what can you conclude about the convergence of two oceanic crusts?
The convergence of two oceanic crusts results in some similar events compared to the first type of convergence. Tsunamis may be formed.
Earthquakes may happen. There is also subduction because one plate is denser than the other.
Great! And what about convergence of two continental crusts or plates?
Converging continental crust or plate result in a collision zone, which could cause shallow earthquakes.
At that place, a crack called fault is formed. This type of convergence will cause no subduction since the two plates have the same densities.
Of course, there would be no volcanoes formed, no tsunamis. The convergence will result in a group of high landforms that we call mountain ranges. Good job, Angel and Vince! I'm happy that you learned from our experiment. What about you, Wonder Warriors? I'm confident that you learned it too. And now, challenge yourself to do this 5-item quiz. I will read the statement once. You will need to identify whether the statement is true or false. If the statement is true, draw a happy face. And if it's false, draw a sad face. You're only given 5 seconds to draw the icon of the correct answer for each statement. You will be given 1 gold coin for every correct answer. Are you ready? Wonder Warriors, let's play Science Pop Quiz. Number 1. Subduction is the process by which a plate dives under a less dense plate. Is it true or false? And the correct answer is true. Number 2. When an oceanic crust converges with a continental crust, a crack between the crust underwater called Rift Valley is formed. Is it true or false? And the correct answer is false. When an oceanic crust converges with a continental crust, a crack between the crust underwater called a trench is formed. Number 3. Due to the heat in the mantle, the magma builds up a pressure that enables it to push the ground above it. The column of rising magma is called a volcanic arc. Is it true or false? And the correct answer is false. Due to the heat in the mantle, the magma builds up a pressure that enables it to push the ground above it. The column of rising magma is called a mantle plume. Number 4. Converging continental crusts or plates result in a collision zone, which could cause shallow earthquakes. Is it true or false? And the correct answer is true. Number 5. Converging continental plates will cause no subduction since the two plates have the same densities. Is it true or false? And the correct answer is true. Well done, Wonder Warriors! I am happy that you were able to challenge yourself to do the pop quiz. Now, let us add all the gold coins you've collected from the pop quiz. How many gold coins have you collected? For all the effort that you do, I will give you a fantastic badge.
Katanungan sa ating isip ay may kasagutan para magtungkol sa agham ay makakamtan. Wonder science ang ating kagapay. Agham o siyensya, kadugtong ng ating buhay.
Agham! Siyensya!
Halina't mag-aral na siyensya ating alamin. Agham o siyensya, kadugtong ng buhay.
Let's thank Angel and Vince, our Wonder Warriors from Iligan City National High School, for joining us here in Wonder Science.
Thank you, Teacher Melvin. I learned a lot from our Wonder Adventure today.
To all Wonder Warriors, always believe in yourself and never stop learning.
See you next time, Angel and Vince. Wonder Warriors, remember that by doing experiments, you can easily understand the science concept. Using available materials at home, perform the same experiment on the processes and landforms along with convergence of plates. Perform this activity with either family members or friends who are available to join you. Share your experiment to the online world by posting your photo using #WonderLearnAtHome. You did well today, Wonder Warriors! I am excited to see your outputs. And that ends our Wonder Adventure for today. But don't worry, more science adventures are coming your way. Always remember, science is fun for everyone. This has been your Wonder Explorer, Teacher Melvin. See you next time for another episode of Fun Wonder Adventures. Only here at DepEd TV.